All right, team, R104. So next month's resistance workout, again, with resistance, you're going to use load and range of motion to drive that heart rate. We always make sure that their form is perfect. We got to get their form perfect. If the form is not perfect, don't even think about putting any more load. Second is a range of motion. Make sure that range of motion, they have good range of motion, not too much and not too little. Once they have those two, then you're going to increase the load until they can't do it anymore. Once they compromise their form even slightly, then bring them down with the weights. All right, so we have 2 circuits, and we have 2, 4, 5 exercises in each circuit. The first exercise is a new exercise. This is one of the new ones that we have for this month. It's going to be a tough one, and they're going to have to go down from their normal weight that they would normally do on this. It's going to be the dumbbell press, alternating dumbbell press hold, overhead press hold. So again, they're going to pick it up. They're going to set it onto their legs. They push them up this direction, then they're gonna come up. Now, we're not holding at the top, so we're coming down, but now we're holding one side down in the low position, 90 degrees. So if you look at my right side, 90 degrees, I'm gonna be pressing, and we're gonna be doing right side, left side, but keep in mind, we're holding it low, so they're not gonna be able to do as much weight. When they're done, they turn it in, and they bring their legs up, catch it, so they're not dropping them on their legs and hurting their quads or bruising their quads. Then they're gonna set them down. Again, always engaging that core. Anytime you pick up or drop weights, you're gonna engage that core. Next is going to be the dumbbell pullover. And again, you're gonna have more weights, obviously a much larger selection of weights than what we show here. Okay, here, you set it on your leg, right or left, doesn't matter. You're gonna tilt it, or it's gonna lean against your chest. You're gonna have like a heart kind of grip here. So overlapping grip. You're gonna roll back, that leg comes up. You're gonna press it up. Slight bend in the arm. So I don't wanna see, what I not wanna see is this, where they're doing a tricep. I wanna see a slight bend in the arms the entire time. The same bend stays the entire time. It's only gonna come to right above their head. So they're just gonna look at that dumbbell, come back down, full range of motion. If it bothers their shoulder, you can limit the range of motion, but keep in mind, if it does, you don't wanna load them up if their shoulders are bothering them from doing this exercise. Again, full range of motion where it goes all the way back, all the way up, right above their head. That way we keep constant tension on it. When we're done, we set it on our chest, take our knee, then we roll out. We just push out just like that. Next, we have this dumbbell side-to-side plank. Once again, you're going to be doing, you're going to have 2 dumbbells. You're going to be in a plank position, and you're going to rotate. So this is all core. What we're doing here is core, but we're still keeping that shoulder engaged quite a bit. If they can't do it on their toes, you can simply have them do it on their knees. And again, if they go down to the lightest weight, which we have the 5s, or they may not need any weight at all. You don't need a whole lot of weight on that particular exercise to be effective. In fact, you need very little weight. Next is you have the dumbbell or kettlebell alternating front raise. So if we don't have enough weights, because you're using a lot of light weights in here, especially there and here. If you don't have enough, you can always use the kettlebells. Kettlebells is fine. It's alternating front raise. So all you're gonna do, knees slightly bent, and you're just alternating. As soon as one comes up, the other one's making its way up. Okay, you have to keep that core engaged, otherwise you're gonna affect your lower back. Now, if they have shoulder issues, they got one shoulder that's bad, you can do both at the same time. So you can do both arms at the same time. Again, you got the dumbbells and you have kettlebells. Either one will work for this exercise. That particular one can only utilize dumbbells. You can't do the kettlebells on that one. Next, you have the seated pull-ups. Now this is seated pull-ups or regular pull-ups. With this one, you're going to demonstrate towards the wall, because if you demonstrate this way, they inevitably do what you do, and then they're back up against the wall, they're hitting themselves against the wall, so you don't want that. So you're going to have to project your voice, but you're going to demonstrate facing the wall. You're in the seated position. You're coming straight up, seated. We're not coming back like this in a row. We're in a seated position. Use your legs to assist. Now, the further you come out, though, the easier you make this exercise on your back. You want to squeeze those lat muscles. For those that can, They can hop up and they can do pull-ups. Same exact concept. So you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. Next, well, actually that's the exercise in circuit number 1. Circuit number 2 of your main circuit. This is actually circuit number 3. So circuit number 3, you have the squat to kettlebell upright row. So I'm going to demonstrate with a light one because I'm going to show you both good form and bad form. Again, when you pick it up, always engage the form, always engage your core, pick up with your legs. Now, when you lift, you're driving with your elbows. You are not leading with the kettlebell. This is basically doing a bicep curl, okay? We're trying to work the shoulders. You're driving with the elbows. The other thing too is we're not doing this when we come up. You see a lot of people do this. We're keeping our shoulders down and raising them. But you notice how my shoulders stay down. They come up a little bit, but I'm not doing this. Okay, you're not getting as much out of the exercise, and we're not using correct form on that. Next, you have the the equalizer row. So the equalizer row, you come in it in a seated position, grab the handles, heels to this bar here, and you're just pulling up. Now, this is the rowing row that you're going to do. Now, if you need a little bit more out of this, you just stick your feet further out. The further out you go with the feet, the harder it is. After that, you have a core exercise, which is going to be the wheel, again, the ab wheel hold. So they can either do the ab wheel, where they're going back and forth with the ab wheel, or they can do the hold. The hold is going to be much harder. I would recommend they do the hold. But it depends on each individual. Now, again, you have arrows that show you the direction of this wheel, and you also have left and right on here so that you know exactly how to handle it. Always demonstrate with your knees against this step, because for the beginner, anything more is going to hurt them. They come out, they come in. But notice my hips are going down. I'm not doing this. I'm not getting hardly anything out of that, okay? My hips are going down. Now, I need a little bit more. I come out. Okay, need a little bit more. I'm just increasing my range of motion. If I need a little bit more, I come out and I hold it. And I hold it there the entire time. If I need a little bit more, I come out on my toes and I hold it. Again, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. For somebody who's a very, very beginner, make sure their knees are up against the step. If that's still too much for them, have them do a crunch. Or if people that can't get on their knees, or for whatever reason this hurts their shoulder or their lower back, have them do a crunch. But no matter what, always with the beginners, have them start with a very limited range of motion on that one. That one's very good core exercise, but that also means it strains the core quite a bit. Next, you're going to do the seated rubber band alternate row. So again, once again, you need 2 handles and you need to have matching rubber bands on here. We are not demonstrating with the matching rubber bands, but you would have matching rubber bands. So you'd have 2 blues, 2 reds, 2 greens. Okay, you're going to be in the seated position and you're going to row one at a time. Okay, alternating row, and you're going to be in the squatted position. Make it easier. Walk in or use lighter rubber bands, make it harder, walk out, or use stronger, thicker rubber bands. Most people can probably do the blue, especially people that have been here for a while, and a lot of people can probably actually do the green. It's not as difficult as you think. You're a lot stronger, but make sure you squeeze those lats when you're doing that exercise. Next is you have the squatted car driver, which everybody loves. Now, if squatting down is too much, if it bothers their back, don't have them reach out as far, because once you pull this out, you're creating a lot of torque on your torso, which strains the lower back. So if that's too much for them, just have them come in just a little bit. Okay, but you're going 90-90. Ideally, what you want them is in a seated position, okay, and arms almost locked, slight bend. And then you just keep adding weight. You can keep adding 10s, throw 25, whatever it is. But you want to go 90 degrees, a full 180 degrees. All the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. If they're in here, they're not going to get nearly as much. Again, you can make it as easy or hard as you want. Have them in the standing position, have them close in. For a beginner, that's all they need. If you need to, you can even go down to a 5-pound weight and just have them do the same concept. All right, the last circuit is going to be mountain climbers and a plank. There is no rest. Your rest is the plank. So you're going to do the mountain climber. And again, I want to stress, try to stretch out those calves. So take that heel all the way to the ground, but you got to be careful with people that are too heavy, because if they come in and they slam that heel down to the ground and they don't have much range of motion, they could potentially rupture their calf or pull it, strain it, whatever. So it's you start them up with their butts a little bit higher. Then as they get a little bit more range of motion in there, you can have them actually go down, drop their hips. So you're gonna do your mountain climbers for 25 seconds. Then you're gonna hold the plank for 15. Then you're gonna go back to the mountain climbers. Then you're gonna hold the plank. You don't stop the entire time. You never come down to your knees if you can avoid it. Now for the beginners, obviously when they're doing the plank, have them come down to their knees, then they can do their mountain climbers again, back down to their knees if they need to. They can also use the boxes. So for the people that are very, very beginner, have them use the boxes. Or for some of our members that have back issue or knee issues or whatever it is, they can use the box. It's not a problem. But you only have 2 rounds of that, so you want to have them go as hard as they can on that one and get the most out of it. Again, it's going to finish off their chest, and you're gonna really engage that core. So then when you do the team challenge, back and shoulders is what you want to involve in the team challenge, or make it metabolic, but don't do another muscle group. These workouts are designed specifically so that you get rest in between each of the exercises on these muscle groups. So make the team challenge fun, have fun with it, and utilize the back and shoulders, and their team is R82.